Okay, we're filming the next part here. Continuing down this stairway. I appreciate they putting these yellow markings in here. We're at Mount Rushmore National Park here. And if you ever go filming in here, put your phone on a lanyard, lest you drop it over the side. The faces are just up that way. Whoever thought to paint these yellow stripes on the stairs ought to get a raise.
Yeah, that was smart.
Okay, here we are. I can't see the faces for the trees here. Okay, this is a much better viewing angle. Washington stands out on the left with Jefferson, and then followed by Roosevelt, squeezed back in there, then Lincoln on the right. All righty. When I was here back when in 1966, I don't remember going through this, but then that was so long ago. I do remember the, here's another, here's Thomas Jefferson's plaque. I'm gonna try to get all this in here. I know I'm rushing this, but I don't want to run out of storage space again. So you're going to have to freeze this on your YouTube videos on your computer. Okay, there's one more plaque. We did Washington, Lincoln, and I think that was Jefferson now for TR. His plaque ought to be down here somewhere. Of course, if I find that there's other Mount Rushmore videos that are at least as good as this one, which doesn't take much, I'll just keep this for my own personal record.
There you go.
But how many are there of those from 2020?
Good question.
Only ones from 2020 will show people wearing masks.
That's true.
And that's the historical value of this video.
Here comes another plaque.
Yeah, only by the grace of God have I not already dumped this.
Look at the little pine tree where it's growing. Interesting.
Just like a blade of grass trying to squeeze through concrete.
Yeah. That's about right.
That's how I compare my life. I think of my life as a failure so much. I may be behind so many others that I'm in still from my school days that I compare myself to, but I thought it occurred to me recently, of all the people that in the Army that would call me a, excuse my language, a fuck up. I would say, if I how many of those people that would call me that maybe have died now because they got in a car wreck?
Yeah, that's true.
I'd say, who's to bleep up now? Here's TR, the last of the plaques. The only controversial president to have been carved. He was a favorite of Gutzon Borglum, the main Guido who carved out Mount Rushmore. He was, of course, the latest of the presidents. There's nothing controversial about Lincoln and Washington. And what's the other guy?
Jefferson.
Jefferson. But Teddy Roosevelt, in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, he was still fresh in the minds of many people then living back then. And so that's why he was the only controversial face on the face of Mount Rushmore. Not anymore, though. I don't think there's any controversy about him now. But back then, you know, he was kind of like Trump in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah, yeah, he was a tough guy. Speak softly and carry a big stick.
And but even he made his biggest mistake was promising not to run for president in 1908, and he could have done it. There was no 22nd Amendment back then, and he kept his promise. I don't think anybody ever accused him of lying. No. His tactics, he was a bit imperialist, but he never lied about it. So, but even Lincoln was not perfect, like violating the rights of habeas corpus, but then he had the Civil War to deal with. And not even Lincoln was the saint that many people have made him out to be, with rose-colored lenses. Same thing goes with Washington. We tend to make him into...
Bigger than life?
Yeah, we tend to make people into demons while they're alive, and then into saints long afterwards. So who knows? Trump might be made into some sort of a saint 100 years from now.
Yeah, you're right. He certainly has been a president against incredible opposition, and seems to be able to take it.
Well, his opposition would pull along with that, but no other president has talked about contesting an election.
Well, one thing you look at, and they talk about a peaceful transition of power.
Yeah.
Man, they have a